On today's episode of Watch JR Go, it should be an easy day. All we're doing is wheel spacers and a carbon fiber steering wheel on an Audi R8. What is going on, guys? I am Watch JR Go, and like I said, I'm here with my friend Patrick and his 2014 Audi R8, a first gen like mine, with the upgraded grille in there and some side markers and a couple other cool toys here, carbon blades and the carbon engine covers. And this is a V8 with the dual clutch. So you bought this, well, Patrick bought this from a friend of mine a while back, but you've had it for 2 years now, almost?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, and we rolled into the biggest car show in Wichita with this back then.
Oh, so. Yeah. Well, I first got it, still had 30-day tag on.
Man, I wish I had the red stitching. That looks sweet. Gotta love that. And interior carbon pack looks great as well. There's that carbon steering wheel. So our game plan here is to get that on this car. Never done it before. I've never pulled the steering wheel off one of these, but I think we can do it. It seems it's probably straightforward. And wheel spacers, obviously, that should be really easy as well. We're gonna try to get this on the lift. It might be tricky. We might have to put it on blocks before we can get it on the lifts, because these lifts are built for big cars, not for sports cars. Ding! Oh man, you got the projectors too. We got the center caps off with the little hook tool that they have from the factory there. And we've got the beast, the old Milwaukee, and a 17 set up there. And Patrick already got the locks off of these things, saving all the time. And I've got all the lift points all positioned properly there. It actually took quite a while because I had to run all of the extensions all the way down, find all the points under the car, but we are good now. You ready to lift it up a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lift it up like 6 inches or a foot or so. Should be good. I'm not even gonna put it on the lock because all we're doing is pulling the wheel off, putting a spacer on, putting the wheel back on. These are the good wheels. I kind of wish I had these ones. They look awesome.
Yeah, that's why I'm just putting spacers on them.
Yep.
I was thinking about buying some new wheels, but
these look great.
They really do.
It's like,
I like the factory.
just the right fitment once you bring it out that little bit.
Yeah, 10 millimeters.
Got it?
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was gonna do all this work. I'm glad you're just knocking it out. You got the wave rotors too. I'm pretty sure mine is pre-wave rotor.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
They're only on the 14 and 15.
Okay. A lot of updates on this on the very end of the first gens here, like really cool looking tail lights and just lots of nice stuff like that. So here's the spacer, and which kit is this?
USP.
The USP spacer kit.
Yeah.
So these are cool because
Spulin, I guess.
Spulin, and they've got concentric rings, so they actually line right up. Of course, it sits right on the ring there, and as you can see, there's no play in that or anything, so perfectly aligns. So put it on, throw the wheel back on, spacer.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it came with new lugs.
Well, yeah, because they're longer.
Yeah. So these new powder coated lugs do not like to go on like the factory ones do, but they did include anti-seize, so that was nice of them. And we're throwing some anti-seize right on the end of each one, and then starting it by hand. I mean, this is painstaking because you don't want to ruin this. No. All right, try that. I think it's really tight, but if it moves by hand, man, pretty sketchy when you can't turn it with the socket.
Yeah, it really is. I bet if you pull them back out, though, they'll thread back in.
I think so too. I bet it's just cleaning the threads. It's the car is chasing the threads for us.
There you go.
Okay, so that one was pretty far in. Had like 3 turns on it.
Oh, that's the one that was holding the wheel on.
Yeah, exactly. I figured I'd bring it back and put anti-seize on it too.
Oh, yeah.
that only took a minute or two. It's time to get this R8 back on the ground. Even have to put it on a lock. And then we can get the lift out from under it, get started on the steering wheel. All right, we're leaving the key on in this thing because we need to be able to turn the wheel to access all the screws. Let's grab a 10 and pull the battery off. A 10 on the negative battery cable here. There it goes. And we'll just lift that up. Oh, come on. Try to get that away from the terminal. Stay. Okay. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. There's like no place to keep it away from.
I know.
Yeah, okay. There we go. So we've disconnected the battery and now we can move back inside and get the wheel off. This is what you're dealing with. There's a 227 there and a 227 there. So we've got that set up on a socket. And then this one is a T50, so we have that as well. We're going to turn the wheel like this, pull one, pull the other one, and then get the center out, all the wiring. So we got the first one out. It was actually easier to do it from the top. So since the car is off and the key is in the ignition, we can turn the wheel. There we go, came right out. So those T27s are what's holding in the airbag. Super easy to get these out, and they're retained, so just, yep, just unscrew them. They're not going anywhere. You can see the airbag starting to move. Both T27s are out. The airbag should just come straight out, kind of like that. And now we can disconnect it because the battery is also disconnected. So this one here is the radio controls, and then everything, including the horn and the airbag, they all run through this clock spring connector on there. So we have that all apart. See how the horn works? Just a little copper contact right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's super easy. And now we need that T50. It's sitting there right behind you. And 55. Then we can tear this wheel apart. 55, huh? Man, that's a monster. All right, thank you. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I thought it might be a fight.
Oh, I think we're supposed to put the wheel straight too before we pull it off.
Yeah, just in case.
Well, that way you can line up the other one.
Yeah, but they do have, usually, there's a little line. I can see the line back there. It's right under the connector. Just a tiny little notch. And that's what you're lining up with the splines.
Oh, I see.
But you do want the wheel to be straight, that's for sure. We have to take all the switches and the paddle shifters and everything out of this old wheel. I've been slowly, just gently pulling right there, and that's been coming up really well. So I think we just kind of continue very gently pulling. And there's screws behind this for the paddles, so hopefully we just lift. I got the ring off by just gently pulling all the way around it. It just kind of snaps in. And then these unclip, which are the paddle shifters. So if we look right there, you just push there, and now the trim ring's off with all the controls, and now we have to pull out the Torx, which is tiny, even smaller than a 27 for the paddle shifters. Move them over to the new wheel, and we've got a carbon wheel. The dash is naked. Also, the paddle shifters, they are T15. So here's the paddle shifters on the R8. It's actually pretty cool. It's just that little guy right there, and I mean, they're nicely machined. They actually weigh a lot. And to put them in the wheel, you go from the back with the connector. Tab down is what I found works. Slide that through. And then they hook in. So you want to go like that. And that is how one paddle shifter goes in. And we'll get that one started so it doesn't fall out. This is actually a really fast job. Once you take it apart, you kind of understand how it works, and then it goes quickly. So you don't need to get crazy with those. They're just going into plastic. And same drill. Flip it over, tab down through that big hole. And I say it's big, but it was tiny on both of them. It's actually really hard to get that in there. You might need a screwdriver to help push right on the plastic. Boom. Same drill. Snaps in like that. And once this is done, you can take the ring and put it all back together again. So, yeah. Paddle shifter's ready to go. And then plug in, each paddle shifter goes into each side. Yeah, so unfortunately it's hard to see. You can't really, there it goes. All right, so it's kind of odd, but this whole ring just snaps in. You just start pushing, and then there's one side, there's another side. It's that easy. That's crazy. It was actually a lot harder to get the other one off. This one just kind of went in. But this one is, you said you got a sweet deal on this one because it came off somebody's car.
Oh, yeah. He had sold his R8 and he just had some few parts.
That's awesome.
Left over.
This crossover cable here tucks into the top. So there's some rubber nibs under there. Push that all up in. It gets it out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that. There we go. Factory. That is factory. We are ready to assemble, I think. Everything's back together. So, straight up and down. Not moving the airbag one bit. Boom. I think that's it. So here's that huge T55. So now we can hook all the controls back up here. Once you're done with that, those tuck in kind of up there, or they were like stuck on with adhesive. And then of course the clock spring connector here.
Yeah.
And that's it. Boom. Main airbag connector. Okay, so we turn the wheel, set the airbag back in. It has an alignment pin right on top. Just kind of goes right in, and then get these 27s. They don't need to be excessively tight, just kind of snug. Put the cover on it. The cover kind of slides down in. There it goes. There's a little tab at the very bottom that snaps in, and then the rest of it snaps in, and then repeat it on the other side. Hook the battery back up. And since we did this whole thing with the battery unhooked, it shouldn't have set any airbag codes for having this unhooked or anything. If anything goes wrong, it wasn't my fault.
All right.
Okay, here comes the spark.
Well, there it is.
Okay, first test, just in case anything goes wrong, I'm gonna move way back. It's fine. All right, so she's up. Let's make sure everything runs like it should. Yes, it does.
Build your drink.
Boom. You've got commercials.
It cleared my check engine light, too.
It did clear your check engine light. It's perfect. There you go, man. It's back together.
All right.
Carbon wheel, spacers. I mean, it looks good like that.
Yeah, I can tell a big difference.
Yeah, they're right at the edge of the fender now.
Yeah.
So, that's sweet. Well, enjoy.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, crank it. Tons of room, tons of room. Ah, those crispy shifts. Paddles work?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. Good to go.
Awesome. Everybody loves these V8s. They say they like.
I totally love how it sounds.
Yeah?
To be quite honest, it goes fast enough. I probably just get in trouble.
It really is fast enough. That is true.
And just as an overall, do I turn here?
Yeah.
As an overall package, I love this car.
Yeah, it's a super solid driver. Even not being able to get on mine, I love it.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Have fun.
Yeah, take it easy.
Get on it. Oh, so good. Well, that wasn't the quickest job ever, but we got it done, no problem. Patrick's R8 is back on the road with that sweet carbon wheel, just like the one in the Viper truck. He got that for $400. That is a smoking deal used. Those carbon wheels are super expensive. So, didn't take too long to install. Got them all straightened out in a hurry. I was gonna bring my R8 over as well and do the brake and oil change, but we'll save that for another video because it's gonna take like 2 hours to get that done. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchgrgo.com where you get cool shirts, not like this. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you wanna do. And I'll talk to you next time. I was trying to fire up the system so we could listen to it, and the network wouldn't cooperate. So the TV and the phone couldn't use Chromecast. So I couldn't play music the whole time he was here. We sure tried. Also, I need race ramps really badly for the lifts.